as I sat down and I thought about all the things, I actually started with an outline. There were so many different things that I could talk about my mom. And I decided to talk about her strength, but I actually witnessed what she has passed on to me that has helped me get through some tough times in my life. So it was therapeutic, actually, writing about.
It was just really difficult trying to figure out what one exact thing or characteristic of my mother, but I know that the children take a lot of her kindness. They get a lot of that compassion from her and spend a lot of time with her and see her do things, give things to people, help people. So it's just like a natural thing for them. So it just felt like that was the easiest thing to talk about.
I felt similar to Sonia's experience in that it wasn't writing about her, it was finding one thing to write about. There's just so many experiences, especially my mother in the unique way that she had of teaching us. It was just the idea, okay, I have to pinpoint one thing, just one thing to write about. This was so hard because there's been so many life lessons, so many interesting lessons, so many adventures. My mom took 2 weeks, she had 2 weeks vacation, and she took her whole 2 weeks to have vacation with me.
Oh, wow.
One of the fondest memories. And for that 2 weeks, it wasn't anything planned. We would just get on the train and go into Manhattan every single day for 2 weeks and just see what happens. We ended up going to a TV show. We ended up in the audience of a TV show in the 80s called Cake Natalie. We ended up in the studio audience. We ended up seeing the Tap Dance Kid. I remember getting my face painted at the South Street Seaport. I remember learning what jujubes were. So I just have so many fond memories of that. The 2 weeks that she just took out of her vacation time, which is precious, and out of my summer. So there's a million things I could have written about my mom. So it was hard to just pinpoint one.
Yeah.
I agree, because I forgot the original topic you gave me, and I was looking at, because she's 92, I was looking back at when the stock market crashed and what all that meant for her generation. And then I called her and I said, let me just talk to her and find out if I can tell her story. And then she started talking and she was like, well, I've been bruised and not to the core. And I said, that's the title of my article, and I can write from that place. Because I was like everybody else, like, how many words was it? 90 words?
250. 90. It wasn't that little. I have a newsletter. It's not a magazine yet, okay? So word count is limited.
What the heck? You know to sum up somebody 92 in 250 words.
No, that's a mom. That's a mom.
But yeah.
She makes herself laugh. Okay. Right. No, I understand. But you know what's so interesting though is like, for me, what was so poignant is like when you go back, and it's interesting the things that you remember, right? So me writing this article about my mother, and Ma, you don't really remember this incident, do you?
I do.
You do? Okay, I thought you said you didn't remember it. But it's so interesting that, you know, like for me as a mother, like my main, one of the main things I'm concerned about is like making memories. I want my children to have fond memories of me as a mother and of their childhood, right? So I just pray that some of my less fine moments are forgotten about and my finer moments outshine them. And so for me, I'm thinking now when my kids get my age, what will be some of the things they remember? You let your mom read your article? Like,
I did, and she immediately said, you wrote something mean about me. I said, I didn't write anything mean. I said, I told the truth. And but you bring up an interesting point. You said that you think about if they will, you know, highlight your finer moments and forget your, you know, the moments where you may have felt like you falter. But I find that as an adult child, the most laughs we have are the memories of our parents faltering or things that they did. Those become fond memories because those are the most laughable moments. And when you get older, you're like, remember that time mommy chased you around the house to make you, you know? And those are the ones I think, while they may not be the shining moment to our parents, right? For us, it's hilarious. Those are the memories I think we highlight more than anything, because I think the good things are the things that are inerrant. We know it. We feel those all the time. But when you get around the table, you can say, I think those become the funny moments.
Yeah.
Right, because I was thinking, I'm like, wow, you know, like that story that Sheree told, I'm like, I forgot all about that story. Until you told the story, I'm like, okay, I do remember that. Yeah, you know, I'm like, wow, so that's interesting what gets etched in your mind as a child. Like, it's interesting that that story is like that incident. It's not even a story, it's an incident that occurred. That in your mind is like, geez, what did you say?
Tough as nails, soft as silk.
Tough as nails, yeah. I'm like, okay, I can see how that could be. Because I'm like, even when I think about that now, I'm like, what was wrong with you? Like, what would you even approach a man to say that?
Right.
Like, in bed stop.
My mother was like 90 pounds. Like, she weighed nothing.
In bed stop. I'm approaching some man about what you say to my daughter.
But I think that goes back to the strength of mothers. Mothers, it doesn't matter. Like, when our child's safety or integrity or anything is on the line, all bets are off. We don't care if you're a 300-pound man and we weigh, 20 pounds. We will kill you with our bare hands.
I let my mom read the article and she was surprised. I think she would have expected me to write something about her being hard on me to give me character. But she was like, wow, I'm really touched by this. And it made me cry. I was like, she was grateful that I chose to write about her show.
One thing I noticed, a common thread in everybody's was like this whole thing, like it was really lessons, like, because yours was called Master Teacher of Life, but every one of us, it was like the stories we shared, it was like a lesson we learned. There was all these valuable lessons, and as parents, we can kind of, there's some things are explicit, like we tell our children, like, don't lie, don't steal from the store, because they know me and they're gonna come to my house and tell me. Right. But then some of them are implicit. It's just in terms of what they are observing, what we observed our mothers doing, and thinking about what other people are observing, what our children, what our, just all those who are around us, those who are impressionable, who are watching us, what they are observing and what they are learning from our lives.
Well, the hope is that they are learning something, right? that they are learning something from our lives, and made some sort of impression on them.
Well, you can tell if they're learning something by their actions, right? So if they're compassionate children, then they're obviously picking that up from somewhere. Right? Even if we're not telling them be kind and be compassionate, but if we see them implementing the actions, and they're picking it up from somewhere. So that's how you can tell if it's working, or they're really watching what you do and listening less of what you say.
But I love
it. Reminds me of that poem, Children Learn What They Live.
Right.
Children learn what they live. There's more about what they're observing than what you're telling them. It's like you tell them, it's like they say, actions speak louder than words.
Right.
You can tell me what to do, but if you show me, then I know, I'm kind of like, okay, I understand. It's like I pick and choose from what you do, because you're consistently doing things. It's like you can say this, but your behavior is really going to support you or not.
Right, that's true.
Right.
I think that's what I liked about Kwanya's article, in that, Rodney and Jordan observed your mom doing this. Like, the fact that even your mother had the compassion to go, it's so cold out here, and these crossing guards out here every day, and, she gave them hand warmers. And even when now, if they're not with her, they know it's something that they are doing. And I believe it would go beyond just the crossing guard. It makes them be more in tune to other people's needs.
Yeah, it's a thoughtfulness, right? It's about placing yourself in someone else's situation and what can I do to make that day a little easier? So that's just, it's a practice, right?
Yeah.
If you start thinking about, well, you know what, this is going on with this person, they're probably not having the best thing, let me bring them in a donut or whatever. You know, even if you're at work.
Yeah.
And, you know, your supervisor's having a bad day or she was having a bad yesterday, you know, you want to try to do something just to brighten up the mood. So they're just learning about compassion. Actually, we get complimented all the time about how compassionate they are and well-behaved they are. Not because we're telling them to be compassionate and well-behaved, we're just showing them, you know, these are the results that you get. So because of the whole crossing guard situation, they build a relationship with the crossing guards in the neighborhood, right? Now I can let them walk to school by themselves because they know Rodney and Jordan, they know their family, they know how to they come from, so maybe they take a little extra precaution for my children. So it really does build a good reputation for our family, for themselves. And if you give respect, you are more likely to receive respect, and they're understanding that.
Honestly, hearing each of your stories made me want more. Like, it feels like this is a to be continued. Like, we need to do a part 2. And, you know, she is the truth, but what else is she? She is helpful, but what else is she? Like, I just want to hear more, because every one of them, it was kind of like, oh, okay, that's it. Okay, all right. I want more. I wanted to hear more.
That means you're gonna give us 1,000 words.
Ting.
She is the truth.
She's on a roll, people. She's on a roll. And a makeup artist.
Yes.
My budget can't accommodate all that. We praying the Lord want to send that our way. But
I think the thing that I'm most excited about for this project, Free Fit for Thrive, is just how many other stories it's going to inspire. I think something special is birthed here because as women and as a culture, we have to tell our stories. When we don't tell our stories die with us. And so if these stories are not told, the next generation has no idea what grandma was like, or auntie was like, or cousin was like. They don't have any idea. And I think, and I also think in telling these stories, we can begin to bring healing to generations. Because I believe that maybe someone will say something or show a side of someone that they never knew. And then maybe it can change their thought or narrative about that person, right? Because your grandmother, maybe you didn't know everything that she put, but hearing something like that, you go, wow, I get that. Like, bruised but not to the core.
Oh.
That's perfect. That's the perfect description of her. And the prayer is, right, for your family, is that will be what you say about your grandmother, and that will become her legacy. So tell me more about grandma. Grandma was bruised but not to the core. Like, it will just become a thing that you say, you know.
It's something that she was able to say
about herself.
Yeah.
Right, so it's nothing that you made up.
I just get quiet because I'm like, okay, see, and the only reason I called it because I'm like, okay, this is going to be published on Facebook, and family members like, how is she going to tell about her being homeless and trauma and all this kind of stuff? So I'm like, let me get this, let me make sure she's okay. But she was like, yeah, you can tell my story. I've been bruised up. I'm like, I was like, oh my God, it's like she was waiting for to tell the story. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a testimony. And I just hope more of that will be birthed from this.
Yeah.
That everybody will have that clip and be able to say, who was your aunt?
Yeah.
Well, she was the truth.
But I also think that the generation, so as people get older, most people want to tell their story because they realize the sun is slowing down in their lives. And they have these family or heirlooms of information that, you know, they don't get to unpack their bags. Right? So they need to be able to unpack so that, you know, whatever the next station in life is for them, you know, so a lot of times they just holding on to that stuff. Nobody's asking about their story. You know, so there's so many ways of tapping into those stories of the people, you know, older people in general, but definitely older people who have so much time to tell stories.
Yeah.
wonder, is there any word or phrase that you would want if your children were to write about you? What would be the title of the article that you would want them to write?
Good question.
Resilient.
Resilient. I like it. My word is legendary. I want my children to say my mother was a legend because she was at the top of her game and she killed it for decades. She's legendary.
I guess I would say what my kids to say that I was ride or die.
Ride or die.
Who was that? Tisha?
That's Cerny.
Oh, that's sorry.
Sorry. Ride or die.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I've already written the article for you, so
I'm gonna
your
say,
grandchildren.
a risk taker.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
This is a
Because again, you can have so many different
Right.
titles.
And they may write more than one.
Oh, I think I would want my children to say. I would want them to speak as themselves and say, I was their greatest adventure. I was her greatest.
What?
I want my children to say that I was her greatest adventure.
Mm.